what's happened since we talked last?
Sure. Uh, well, I'll start on a project side, and then yeah, we can dive into the personal stuff if you
Perfect.
guys want. There's
Yeah,
obviously
that'd
been
be good.
a lot of changes there in the last few months. Um, so the way Roo Troop started, again, it was no name back in September, October of last year, and we built community for about 3 months. We didn't launch until January of this year. That whole time, we were already offering utility to everybody in our Discord by way of bringing Web3 job opportunities into the server. And I'm going to give a brief context there because I think it's a good segue into how we're doing now.
Right.
So initially, it was my team and I, we were building up this project, but at the same time, we had been and we were continuing to advise other projects. So we were coming in and we were handling their roadmap development. I was helping them with their branding, how they were going to build up community. We had people handling smart contract development, Discord development, all that stuff, right? We'd come in for about 2 weeks, and every single project we were working with needed at least one person on their team, whether it was a Discord mod, a community manager, a Solidity dev. They needed someone, right? And they didn't know
Yeah.
where the hell to find that talent. Meanwhile, I had built up this whole network of people who were hungry to build in Web3 and hungry to make this ecosystem their life, right? And just like the employers, they didn't know where to find these opportunities. Meanwhile, us in the middle, we were like, okay, we're seeing all of these opportunities, we're seeing all of these talent, or seeing all of this talent, let's pair them up. And so it was a very manual process in the beginning. And again, there were no holders. This was something we were just doing to provide value to the community. We were bringing those opportunities into the Discord. We were interviewing people, maybe dozens of people per opportunity. We were picking someone, we were training them up, we were working with them on that other project, and then we would leave them there to have a full-time position or not, if they decided not to after a couple weeks, right? But point being, it's a very manual process of connecting talent and employers in Web3. There was no real place for them to congregate. So as we moved through that process, it was just like in Discord at first. We ended up building out the Roo Troop Bounty Hub, which is a very bare bones Web3 job board, which you can find at rootroop.com/jobs. Anybody can see job listings over a week old. Only our partners and our holders can see jobs in that first week they are posted. Just like everything else in the space, job opportunities, they move quick. And so being quick to jump on those opportunities is really crucial.
Right.
Sure.
So the Roo Troop Bounty Hub has been in existence this whole time. We have seen over 1,000 job opportunities posted, including from companies like Time Magazine and DraftKings, and huge projects in the space as well. We have landed over 150 people jobs successfully that we know of. Getting that information back from employers is proven to be ridiculously tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we have successfully carried out the mission of being a place for employers and talent to congregate for Web3 opportunities. Along that kind of mission, we realized there was something happening that was highlighted in Web3 but exists in the entire job market, which is that there's fraud on both sides. Mainly the fact that people applying to positions are just lying on their resumes. They're saying they have all this experience. They say they worked for this project, that company. They say they have these skills and capabilities, and they just don't. They end up shitting the bed on the job. And then you get angry employers coming back to us like, hey, this person can't do the job they said they could. And on the flip side, you've got applicants being like, hey, I applied to this job. I've been working for it for a couple of weeks. Doesn't really seem legit. Like, it doesn't seem like they're an actual project or an actual business. And so you've got employers lying about opportunities that they really just don't have.
Right.
And so we dug into that further, and turns out it is, like I said, highlighted here, but a real issue in the broader job market.
Yep.
So 33% of Americans admit to lying on their resumes. Only 34% of employers actually fact check those resumes, which leads to very high turnover rates, which is both cost and labor intensive for employers, right? And so I got with Corey, my business partner and CTO of Roo Troop, and it was like, hey man, similar to how NFTs are providing proof of ownership on the blockchain, like I can buy this JPEG and everybody can see it's mine. I can price it at what I want. I can trade it however I want. Can we do something similar with a job marketplace and bring that on chain to where it's providing proof of work experience, job history, skills, and capabilities? and also verifying employers actually work for companies they say they are working for. Corey's like, well, I don't see why not. He's the most big brain person like I've ever met. I tell him this all the time. So Corey, if you're watching this, I love you and your big brain. But he's like, yeah, absolutely, man, we can do that. And so over the last, I would say 10, 11 months, that's what we've been working towards, is building the first on-chain job marketplace. And now we are super, super close to rolling out a V1 and unveiling the name, the branding, the sign up and waitlist flow, which is really exciting. But that is kind of the flagship initiative, flagship product of Roo Troop. But we got so much other stuff going on, right? I think last time we spoke, we were just getting ready to mint our Joeys, which is the companion collection of Roo Troop. But interesting mechanic there. It's not really meant to expand the community heavily. It was more so meant to reward our current community. They were able to mint those either with Rula or like a negligible price in ETH, and they never even got to public sale because the community just ate them up. And so there's a bit of game theory going on there. They minted Joey Bean incubators. They're literally like these little incubator things. You can see one right there in my background. That's an incubator. And they have the option of incubating them for 12 weeks to turn it into a fully grown Joey or leaving it as an incubator. Joeys can be staked like the Roos. We've got a whole staking mechanism. It's rarity based. You earn Rula, which can be used in our shop, which I'll talk about in a second. But the incubators cannot be staked. But we've hinted at, we've been purposefully ambiguous this whole time, that there might be some perks later on for those holding incubators versus Joeys. So it's been really fun to watch how that's played out. I think that was a main talking point of our last session.
Yeah.
And so far, I think it's pretty split, like 50-50 have incubated. So there's like, they're in the same collection on OpenSea. You can see fully grown Joeys, you can see incubators, and it's like 50-50 right now, I believe. But to briefly touch on what Rula is, and then I'll let you guys ask whatever you see fit, because I don't want to ramble here.
No. This is your time to ramble. Remember this. This is your spotlight, man. Go for it. Ramble on.
We've got so much going on. It's hard to like pick and choose what to highlight, right? But I do want to highlight our Rula shop because I think it's a very unique shop and use case for an ERC20 currency that no other project has implemented so far.
Okay.
Which is on one side, normal stuff, right? We upload NFTs, we upload whitelist opportunities from time to time. We've uploaded tickets to our IRL events there, and people can claim those in Rula, right? There's no extra cost incurred. The really cool thing which we rolled out recently is the ability to list, buy, and sell, well, I guess that's the same thing. List and buy services from both the community as well as the team. So the community holders can go in and say, for instance, I'll give an example, two examples. One, we've got one community member who came in and said, hey, I'll code up your smart contract, or hey, I'll code you up some Twitter sales bots for your collections, and you pay me in Rula. And that Rula goes directly to that person. We don't take any fee out of it, and they are able to profit off of their own services. We've got another person in our community, OS Kizzle, if you're watching, shout out to you because I fucking love this story. He owns a small business which revolves around selling live insects, specifically live mealworms. And so he has uploaded onto our shop two different options to buy either a bundle of 3,000 live mealworms or 5,000 live mealworms, which you can purchase in Rula. He gets the Rula, then he ships you out live mealworms. And you probably think, what the hell are mealworms used for? That's what I thought initially too. But they've been picked up heavily because apparently there's a lot of holders who have reptiles as pets, and mealworms are the main source of food for those pets.
Right.
So, we've essentially created this Rula economy. And the other cool thing here is that even if you're not a holder, if you are a project founder from another community, you can donate your NFTs to our shop, give us your treasury address. We will implement that. So when people buy your NFTs, the Rula that they are spending goes to your treasury, which then you can disperse amongst your community. And we get this great cross-pollination going on. And I think that's just been
Mm,
fucking beautiful to see. It's no cost to us. It's beneficial to all the other parties, and it makes having a shop like this way more sustainable than thinking, oh, we're going to continuously put $10,000 worth of NFTs in it week after week.
yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that's been really successful so far. If you guys have any services you want to prop up on the Roulage shop, hit me up. Love to list them for you.
I
Um,
love it, dude.
but yeah, I guess briefly touch on NFT NYC since we last spoke. You know, threw a party at NFT NYC, got to connect with a lot of holders, a lot of founders, and just friends in the space who I'd been connected with for a while. Hosted a panel there about finding work in Web3 and how to do that. And also got to connect with you two beautiful folks. We had a
Yeah.
3 hour marathon lunch, which I think was supposed to only be like 45 minutes or an hour. We blocked off and we just sat there for hours and hours. So, yeah, man, just been able to connect with a lot more people, both virtually and in person, which has been fantastic.
Yeah.
And everything on the Roo Troop front is just like going beautifully, holding strong through the bear. Community's happy, and like, yeah, real stoked.
I will say it definitely shows that you built a Discord for community, and that was what intrigued you because even through this, I'm in that group chat on Twitter, and I just see a lot of Roo stuff. So props to
Yeah.
you for cultivating that, which is fantastic.